To start round one, we need to do what is called a single crochet stitch. So I'm going to demo this as though you've never done a single crochet stitch before, and even if you have done it before, I want you to note that where you put the hook at first is a little bit different because you're doing a single crochet stitch in a foundation chain. If that all sounded like a bunch of gibberish, don't worry about it. Here's what's going to happen. You're holding on to the loop that you just made. Take a look at where the yarn is coming out of. Like, look for that hole that the yarn that's wrapped around your finger is coming out of. So you want to put your hook in the middle of the V next to it. So if you're right-handed, you're looking for the V to the left of it, and if you're left-handed, you're looking for the V to the right of it. So what we're aiming to do is we need to put our hook in the middle of this V so that it is under the back loop of the V, the part of the loop that is further away from you. So for me, I see that this yarn is coming through this hole, which means I need to put my hook through this hole instead. And make sure that you are putting your hook under only the back loop of the V. So when you have put it in the correct place, it should look like you only have 2 loops on your hook. So now you need to do what's called a yarn over. So with your hook in front of the working yarn and the tip of the hook facing you, you're going to bring that yarn over the top of the hook and then pull that yarn through only the first loop on the hook. So 2 tips to get you there: pull the piece in the hook in opposite directions, so you temporarily make the loop on the hook a little bigger to help your hook clear it. And then notice how I've rotated my hook down 90 degrees so that it can, again, better clear that first loop on the hook. The moment I get through that first loop on the hook, I'm going to rotate my hook to face me again and then push it off to my yarn hand, pull the hook away from me a little bit so that now I've got 2 loops left on the hook that are vaguely the same size. I'm going to rotate my hook down 90 degrees again and then just check that I can easily take the whole hook out of both loops. That way I know my stitches are going to be a good size. Halfway through the single crochet stitch now, we're going to yarn over again. So remember, that means bringing the yarn over the top of the hook. And this time we are going to bring this yarn through both loops on the hook. So pull the hook and the piece away from each other, rotate your hook down 90 degrees, and pull your hook through both loops on the hook. And there you have a single crochet stitch. So before we move on, we actually want to put the stitch marker in. So before I do that, I'm going to pull my hook away from me so that I make the loop it goes into really big. That way I don't lose my spot by mistake. I'm going to pick up the stitch marker that I have from another kit. I'm going to look for the V that this loop traces back into, and I'm going to put the stitch marker under that V. So now I know that this is the very first stitch of round 1. This way I can easily keep track and count every time I finish a round that I have successfully actually made 8 single crochet stitches in every round, as that is the goal.